I'm frightened. I never see strangers and hardly know what I say. My sister, Lavinia, she's younger than I. She says I tend to wander back and forth in time, so you must bear with me. I was born December 10th, 1830, which makes me 53. Welcome to Amherst. My name is Emily Elizabeth Dickinson. The Elizabeth is from my aunt, Elizabeth Currier. She's father's sister. Oh, how the trees stand up straight when they hear Aunt Libby's little boots come thumping into Amherst. She's the only male relative on the female side. Dear Aunt Libby. But I don't use my middle name anymore, you see, not since I became a poet. Professor Higginson, the literary critic, doesn't think my poems are... Well, no matter. I have had 7 poems published, anonymously, to be sure. So you can see why I prefer to introduce myself to you as a poet. Here in Amherst, I'm known as Squire Edward Dickinson's half-cracked daughter. Well, I am. I never see strangers. I never leave my father's house to cross the town to any house or town. I haven't left the house in years. When the census taker asked my occupation, I simply said, at home. The soul selects her own society, then shuts the door. Oh, the cake. I do all the baking here at Homestead. I even banged the spice for this cake. My father always raved about my baking. He would eat no cake or bread but mine. Lovely. Oh no, it's easy to make. The recipe? Of course, it's really very simple. We'll have cake, 2 pounds of flour, 2 pounds of sugar, 2 pounds of butter, 19 eggs, 5 pounds of raisins, 1.5 pounds of currants, 1.5 pounds of citron, 1/2 pint of brandy. I never use father's best. 1/2 pint of molasses, 2 nutmegs, 5 teaspoons of cloves, mace, cinnamon, and, let me see. Oh yes, 2 teaspoons of soda and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm sorry, am I going too fast? Now, beat the butter and sugar together, add the 19 eggs, and now this is very important, one at a time without beating. Then beat the mixture together again, adding the brandy alternately with the flour, soda, spices, and salt that you've sifted together. Then the molasses. Now, you take your 5 pounds of raisins and 3 pounds of currants and citron, and gently sprinkle in all 8 pounds, slowly now, as you stir. Bake it for about 3 hours if you use a cake pan. If you use a milk pan, as I do, well, then you better leave it in 6 or 7 hours. Everyone loves it. I hope you will. Thank you for asking. Sometimes I make one for a neighbor and enclose a short note that is usually so obscure no one can understand it. I hear my little notes are becoming collector's items in the village now. People compare them to see who has the strangest one. Excuse me. We must be careful what we say. No bird presumes its egg. That'll keep them guessing. I'm told one woman in Amherst is imitating me now. Probably Clarissa Cartwright. Just what Amherst needs, another eccentric. Well, I do have fun with them, my menagerie. I suppose all small towns must have their local characters, and for Amherst, that's what I am. But do you know something? I enjoy the game. I've never told anyone else, but I'll tell you. I do it on purpose. But my brother Austin, he knows. He says, Emily, stop your posing. Austin knows me through and through, as no one else does. Father and mother never understood me, and Vinny doesn't know me either. Austin and I are most unlike everyone else, and are therefore more dependent on each other for delight. I do think sometimes stories about me distress him. In a way, the stories are true. Oh, I believe in truth. But I do think sometimes it can be slanted just a little. Do you know what I mean? Tell all the truth, but tell it slant. Success in circuit lies, too bright for our infirm delight, the truth's superb surprise. As lightning to the children eased, with explanation kind, the truth must dazzle gradually, or every man be blind.